today we're going to be learning how to create more HTML page and linking them up together. So let's start. Right here, I've created 4 HTML page. How do you know? You see, this is the about page and ending with .html. The .html indicates that this is an HTML file. All right, I could create a new file and call it index.whatever doc. You see, it has a different icon because it doesn't recognize this as what an HTML file. So I'm going to delete this. I just use that to explain, to show you why we have a .html file at the end of the page, the name of the page. Good. Now in our index page, we've created some HTML code. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to create some pages. I'm going to link them. We have this page created already. So let me create one more page just so you can see how to create a new page. Right click, new file. You see that? I'm going to do that again. Just in your folder right here, you can right click, you see new file. The other way you can do that is by clicking on the first icon after the name, the folder's name. All right, the folder's name here is front end. That is where I have all my files. I'm going to click the first icon which says new file. Can you see that? Click that, and then I'm going to type info.html. just hit your enter button. You see it ended with, it gives us the HTML5 icon. All right. The next we want to do is link these pages up together. So in the HTML, I'm just going to write a welcoming text and then link them up to the other page. Good. In here I have HTML links. I'm just going to change the heading 2 towards first page. When I save this, I'm going to open my run. I'm going to go live, click on go live, so we can see what our code looks like in the browser. Good job. So right here we see we have the first page. Let me just make this, keep that here, and then keep the code there and make this a bit smaller. Good. Right here I can easily change more content. We have the contact page, YouTube link. This is going to the YouTube link. I'm just going to make this click home. All right, I'm just going to take this out. I don't need this for now. I'm going to comment out code. You hold down the control key and then you press the slash button on your keyboard. You see that is showing like a green, it's just showing green text. That means this code won't run. When the interpreter is checking for the codes we've written, what we want to appear, when it sees this line, it's going to ignore it. When I save this code and then we run on my page, you notice the YouTube link is gone. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to use the h2 element. In the h2 element, I'm going to create, I've given it a title called the contact page. Under the contact page, I created a link called click here to go to contact. So I linked it to the contact.html file, which is the file we have here in the folder. Good. Let's create more links to link the other pages. Right here, I'm going to give it a title. Usually we use the h2 to write title. I'm going to say h2 and tab. So in the h2, I'm going to write, I've just created the h2 element. In this element, I'm going to give it a link and also a title. Now in the title, I'm going to call these words we have. I'm going to link it to the galleries page, or let's link it to the about page first. So I'm going to give it a title first and say about page. Right, in the about page, under the about page, I'm going to create a link. So to create a link, remember I said you're just going to have a you use the A tag when you type A on your keyboard. VS Code will automatically give you some option of attributes that can work with A element, or we use the A tag in this sense because we're still writing the opening tag, right? So I'm going to use this one that says A column link. I could write it myself by hitting on the tab key. Now clicking on that, you see it automatically gives you the code you need to write. But I'm going to write this for the sake of clarity myself. So I just created an A element. In the first tag of the A element, I'm going to write the link where it's going to be linking to, right? I could do href, just like href, right, equals to, then you see this quotation marks. If it doesn't appear, you can type it yourself, just 2 quotation marks. All right, so in the quotation mark, we're going to write a link to where we want to link it to. We're linking the about page, right in the middle of the quotation mark. I'm just going to use the slash. Just type the slash. When you type the slash, it's like going out of the current file into the folder, so you can see every file in the folder is appearing here, right? So you can see we have the about html.com. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take out the slash. I didn't type anything other than the slash key. Just type the slash, sorry. So I type the slash, and there you see I'm just going to select the about.com so that it links to the about page. All right, I'm going to save this. You see we have the about page title here. So right in the middle of the A tag, I'm going to write click here to visit the about page. All right, very good job, well done. Once you're done with that, you see it's going to load up here. Click here to visit the about page. Let's make this a capital key, a capital letter. So that's been saved. How do we know this is working? When I click on it on the browser here, it takes me to a new page. But note that we are yet to write anything in the about.html file. We can write something and say, let's just write the normal HTML. I'm going to select the HTML5, remember? In the HTML5, it's going to give us some basic elements, structured HTML elements. All right, that's why I like VS Code, by the way. I don't have to type all of this myself, but you must know what to type. So in this document title, I'm going to change the title to about page, so that when it saves, it appears at the top as what? About page. If you look at the top right here, it's going to, let me reload that. You see the title at the top, you see the A. Let me just take this out. Yes, yeah, so we have this right here. We're gonna get this here, and then we use the VS Code here. All right, so you can see in the title what we have written in here, the about page. All right, so we have the title set, about page. Let me change it to about page, about my page, so you can see the changes about my page. When I save this, it reflects up here about my page. Usually when you see the title up here, this is where it's been coded. This is where the title comes up in the HTML header element. You see, this is the head, this is the closing tag, and this is the opening tag. All right, so what we'll do next is very simple. In the about page, we're just going to write about us. I'm going to generate a random text about myself. So I won't be writing so much about myself. I'm going to show you how to use an AI to generate text. So I'm just going to write H2. I love to use H2. Remember, it must be a lowercase. H2, I'm going to say welcome. Let's just say about page. About page. Good. So I'm going to arrange about. You see the about page is already showing right here. Good. What you want to know next is, what do we have to do? What can we write about me or about? So I'm going to use the AI to generate random text about myself. Good. Right. So to generate random text, I can use Chat GPT. It's an open AI. It's going to open up and ask me to, how can I help you? Can you see? I'm going to type the URL, so in case you also want to learn how to generate text. So right here, I'm just going to write generate an information about a young programmer. All right, so I'm just going to use that. All right, so let's see what that pops up for us. So I hit enter. It's going to generate some information and I'm going to code it. All right, so we have information about Ava Patel, a 23-year-old programmer prodigy, is making HTML. So all right, so it's still coming up. It's still coming up. I'm just going to use these rather than me thinking of what to write. So in the body tag, I'm going to use the paragraph. Remember, this is like a paragraph. As you can see, the AI has generated the title. I'm going to use an H3 for this to just write the title, about page. All right, so I'm just going to write in here something a bit less bold than the actual title of the page. So I'm going to use H3. You can decide to use H4, it's fine. So I'm going to move this and say meet Ava Patel. All right, so I'm going to use this right here. This is going to be a paragraph. We just don't put right of this text and use the enter key ourselves. We have to use the P element. The P element stands for paragraph. Now I'm going to write the first paragraph, P, right? So in this paragraph, I'm going to paste all those texts, right? So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, paste in here. So easy. Oh, by the way, let me show you something. When you have your text going way out of your screen, you can do something. Let me quickly show you how to do that. You go to File, you go to View. You're going to go to View. You click on Word Wrap, or you use use Alt+Z. All this will be wrapped up. So we have the first paragraph in here. The next paragraph you want to have, I'm just going to give some space. Remember to use a P tag for each paragraph. For each paragraph, you must use the P element. So the second one, we're having, since Ctrl C and a P tag, we want to paste. All right. Then in here also Ctrl C, P, so I'm just going to do this, P tag, P tag, P tag, element that is there, the last, a second to the last, Ctrl C, View. So the last one also, I'm just going to add this right here. Turns out we had 6 tab. Okay, so save. Now we have all the tags. We have the page, about page set. Now when I save these, go back to our about page. Can you see how everything is arranged? Now we have the about page set up. Good. And it's being linked up. But from here, we should have a link that takes us back home. Underneath the about page, I'm going to put a text and say, click here to return home. All right. So I'm going to say a tag again. I want to create a link back to the home page. A tag. Remember I said you select the one with the link. So I'm going to take out the word HTTP. We are not going to another website. So I'm just going to use the slash key and take this back to the index page. So in here, I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to give it a name, say, click to go back home. So that's like the home page. The landing page is usually known as home page. There's a home page. So saved, you see that. So when I click this, it takes us back to the very first page. Click the about page, it takes us to the about page. Click this, it takes us back to the home page. Good. So now your task will be to link up the rest of the page. Link that up yourself. All right.